Alrighty, so I haven't played this in a long time. I'm looking through my tanks is what I'm doing. Just give you a heads up, guys. And I'm finding ones that, my stats are either middle of the road to piss poor. And I'm trying to play those tanks to boost the win rate up in those and get their stats up better. I don't like looking, scrolling through my tanks because I see a nice purple, green, blue, purple, blue. And I go down here and then I see a tank that I've got a 43% win rate, red stats. And I look at the damage, it's 633 average damage per match. I'm like, wow, that's that. And with 30 matches, I'm like, and I don't remember playing it, in any time recently. So I'm like, that must have been when I first really got into World of Tanks and didn't know what I was doing. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is a French tank. French haven't been in a super. I mean, they were one of the uh, tank lines that were added, a couple years after the game had been in. So I'm like, um, why are my stats that bad in that tank? So I pop it up and I'm looking at the meat and potatoes of the stats of the tank. I'm like, average damage per shot, nice, 240. And we're talking for a tier 6, Average penetration, wow, 212. That's phenomenal. I'm hovering over the gun going premium 259, average damage 240. Decent, gun handling that I can see. Average damage per minute's kind of low, like 1440. I'm like, it's tier 6, but and I'm looking at the gun depression elevation, -10. Oh my God, it's a Ridgeline Warrior. What an awesome friggin' tank, Turret traverse, not super. Reload's all right, Haul traverse was pretty, mediocre. And I'm looking at the hit point. I'm looking at the armor, tier 6 with 120 frontal hull armor, 110 turret armor. I'm like, what's wrong with this tank? Why are my stats so bad in it? The engine looked all right. Top speed for a heavy's all right. Camo, blah. View range is 360, so not too bad. I'm looking at my stuff that I got, so, and I'm like, okay, I don't have nods, don't have, anything to really help with the view range. And, sorry guys, my daughter just texted me. So I'm looking at it going, why do my stats suck in this tank? Let's take it for a match. This is the after action review of the match. It was a Master Badge 3 and Fire for Effect. I only did 880 damage. I'm like, all right, hit Scorpion G, finished him off for 194. Tiger 1, hit him once, 235. So it's pretty hard, for tier 6. 238 on the Leo, and knocked out his track and spotted him, and he got hit for 149. Knocked his track out there. That's what it was. Hit the Hurt Churchill 7 there, and 213. Bounced a couple rounds, and originally spotted the AT8. And, you look way down, we're right in the middle here. 880, 1 kill. Nothing spectacular at all. 10 hit, or shots, 7 hit, 4 pen. Remember those numbers. 10 shots, 7 hit, 4 pen. 880 damage, 4,300 meters, 432. Got hit 8 times, 6 pen, 2 bounce, 290 bounce, damage 4, destroyed 1. Lost 2,268 credits, but that's because I think I shot 10 rounds, only hit 7, and only penned 4. But when you see this match, and normally I try and show the match and then the after action to show you, okay, here's the match, this is what we did, and this is what happened, and this is where what the your bowl of candy of goodies with experience and whatnot. The one number I did not look at, and it is the make or break with this tank that makes it either a great to good tank to a bad to really piece of crap tank. And I wish I would have looked at that number, and that would have answered my question why my stats really suck in it. Look at the aim time. Almost 3 seconds, and that's with improved ventilation and enhanced gun lane drive. Almost 3-second aim time. So you pull out, and it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And by then, you've been hit 2 or 3 times by that AT8. He put like 3 rounds into me while I was trying to shrink in on his commander's hatch, and it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And I finally get a shot off, and then dispersion of 0.36. Well, what's it do? It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the commander's hatch. It just bounces. And he ended up finishing me off. But every shot that you have to stop and take with this thing is so painfully slow that if I were grinding the French line and I got to this tank, I would highly recommend that you can purchase, some experience and just bypass this tank, to be honest with you. If it weren't for that very excruciatingly bad aim time, this would be a great tank. I would say if it weren't for that aim time, it would be a very enjoyable tank to play. Great gun handling, except for that aim time. That is just wholly painfully slow. So if you want to stick around for a second, I'll have the gameplay and just watch how many times you get hit just trying to get a shot off because you have to wait for that reticle to shrink in. A lot of shots I took, I didn't even hit because I was trying to get a shot off before I did get hit, and it wasn't shrunk even close to halfway in, and the round just whizzes right by him. So stick around for a second and check that out. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we are in the Jords, and I'm right in the middle of the road. We got a couple tier 8s, a couple tier 7s, and then you got your tier 6s. So we're on the low end of the matchmaking, which the gun on this is with the penetration. That's where you can use this tank in doesn't have a lot of hit points, only 820, but with that gun, it's got a decent reload, great penetration for a tier 6. And you can see it's got, pretty good speed. Maneuverability on this is great. It's just that damn aim time is so painfully slow that you miss so many shots, or there's so many shots that you cannot take because you're waiting for that reticle to shrink in, and by the time it gets shrunk in, either the thing you were aiming at is long gone, or he's shooting at you, and you can't just sit there and get hit 4 and 5 times to try and get one shot off. And if it's something at distance and you got to shrink in it, to like snipe at something, yeah, and it's 0.36 accuracy, so the accuracy is just, it's not good. Watch this. I'm trying to get a shot off before he gets out of there, completely miss. And look how slow that shrinks in. And here I got lucky that I got the second shot off on him. But 0.36 accuracy with that just sad aim time. Look at this. So I'm trying to get a shot off so that Leo can get me. And then watch this. See it shrinking in. Watch when I stop. I'm trying to watch my left here too. So watch when I let it start shrinking in. Shrinking. That one, I wasn't even all the way shrunk in, and I just kind of figured, well, I'm going to either shoot and get a shot on him and damage him, or it's going to miss. So Tiger One's up here. Now watch how bad long it takes to shrink in. That one, the bloom was still huge, but I needed to get a shot off so that I could actually do some damage there. Well, he, pops on the corner and plants one on me. See how slow the aim time is on this? And if you have to move the gun around, it's just so painfully slow. Just every time you stop to aim in, just look, and this right here, there's 2 tanks there, there's 4 of us, and these idiots stop right here in a funnel area and just stop moving. It's like, dumbasses, just fucking push and get out of the way. I mean, look at this. It's like, I can't get in here because these morons, so I'm just pushing. I'm like, fuck it. I don't normally do this, but I wanted to get through there. Another shot there that I just said screw it and took because he was almost dead. It was either you shoot and get some damage, or you just sit there and let it shrink in, and then he's dead before you get a shot off. Now watch these shots when I'm trying to shoot this AT-8 how long it takes for the reticle to shrink in, I am almost dead before I get a shot off, and then I finally get a shot off. Watch this. Watch this shot here. Look how long it takes to finally shrink in so I can aim at that weak spot. And so now I'm getting tore up by this AT8. I wasn't going to fix my gun because all that does is it's messing with the accuracy. But I just took, what, 4 shots there before I finally got the shot off. And look where my round hit. Right here. I'm aiming for this, letting it shrink, letting it shrink, letting it shrink. Finally, I'm like, I'm going to get a shot off or I'm going to die. So I pulled the trigger before it's even shrunk all the way in yet. And the round hits right there. So, the only good thing about this tank, if you play this thing, I would set back as a sniper. I know in .36 accuracy, it just, you think sniper, what are you talking about? You can't push with the damn thing with that slow. I mean, look how long it took me to shrink on that Churchill 7 to get a shot on a weak spot. I mean, I got hit at least once from the Churchill 7 and once or twice from the AT8 when I was trying to get a shot off on that Churchill 7. The aim time on this is just so painfully slow. It's just, it ruins the gameplay of this tank. I can't say set back and be a sniper because .36 accuracy, you can't really even hit. I mean, and if you're moving your gun, the bloom is going to keep getting bigger, and you go to stop to shoot, and then it's shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, and then finally you can pull the trigger. Yeah, that ruins this tank altogether, that aim time. If it weren't for that aim time, this thing, I wouldn't say it'd be overpowered by any means, but it would at least be enjoyable to play. But if I had to do a grind on this thing with that aim time, oh no, I just don't think it would happen. It's just no way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe this will help you determine whether or not you actually want to grind this tank as you go up this line, or just skip it all together. My advice would be to skip it all together. Just get your free experience past this. I know it's going to cost you a little bit of cash, but I couldn't imagine having to grind this tank. I know I didn't grind this tank to get by it with 30 matches. But yeah, that would be my advice, is just to, free XP buy it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy. Oh, wait. Before I forget, I was going to say the one good thing about this match was my win 8 for all of 880 damage that I did was still a Unicom win 8. It was like a 16, almost a 1700 win 8 with 880 damage. Because if it wasn't for that, I would have been really bummed about playing this thing today. But anyways, you guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.